Hi, gang. Welcome back. This is Hexy. Let's let's show a little progression here on Terrible Swift Sword. Now, I want to tell you all, it's unfortunate, but this is probably going to come down shortly. I want to try to get as much as I can in maybe the next day or two because Hexy's got something new coming that he's going to want to get right on the table for all of y'all to see just as soon as it gets here. And it'll be worth it, believe me. But anyhow, let's get on with this right here. We're getting ready to start the 11:20 turn. So we're about 40 minutes away from Pender arriving on the map. And an hour and 40 minutes from Rhodes, and then Early right behind him. But, unlike the actual fighting at Gettysburg, even though I tried my best to do some withdrawing, I couldn't just let the Rebs run right up the Chambersburg Pike and over top of McPherson's Ridge and Seminary Ridge and start heading towards the town before First Corps arrived. So they had to fight. The Confederates were able to keep their distance after the first foray they made right into the faces of those carbines. But then they backed off, kept their distance. I'm telling you, I'm a six-rolling machine in this game, and I don't know why. And I always forget how bloody this game is when you're rolling those dice on the chart, even with the fact that the carbines, they get reduced a column when fired at just because of their weapon type, because they can lay down and load them, or because of terrain, maybe getting 2 column shifts. But when your minimum fire is 1 to 3 and you're rolling 6s, it doesn't matter anyhow, unless it's artillery shooting infantry. So the Confederates did a lot of damage, and just to give you an idea, here's the casualty boxes. If it focuses on the cavalry, and when they went ineffective. So 1-1 Cav went effective at 10:20, and 2-1 Cav went ineffective at 1100. In the same token, gets on here, Heath's Archers Brigade, they were quick, 9:20 they went out. Pettigrew's just now starting to take his losses, and Davis, he's got 2 left to go before he's ineffective. And of course Archer, they route on the E table, which if I could get it on here, you can see right there on the E table that anything 3 and above, they're going to rout every time. And now that these guys are ineffective, if a unit routes and if the brigade is ineffective and a unit routes and he's within the command range of his leader, any other unit that is within the command range of that leader is going to also rout. That's one I haven't had that happen yet. Oh no, actually I did. I had it happen to the cavalry, to the 1-1 Cav. But that's just the punishment you pay for going ineffective. But I don't know how you can't go ineffective in this game with the fire charts. Now, I thought about using the GBACW 3 Days of Gettysburg fire chart. And I think I could have done it, but I would have to figure out what the disorder rolls. Because, like, if the artillery shoots, the artillery in 3, it's mostly disorders. And then when you get the second one is when you cause casualties. But you said, well, you don't have disorder in this game here. So I said, well, no, let's just stick with the TSS rules and just see what happens. Well, he finally decided, let's just go ahead and push, because we had the Cav tore up. Maybe we could take McPherson's Ridge before the Iron Brigade and the 211 rolls up in here. But as you can see, Iron Brigade got here, and they took some massive fire from Heath, from Archer and Davis, while Pettigrew went over here and dealt with the rest of the cavalry, and then hit the 2nd Brigade from the 1st Division, 1st Corps, and put some casualties on them. This guy here flank fired into the rear of this guy here and didn't even hit him. So then the Iron Brigade decided to melee off of the hill, trying to save these guns. There's only one left. To melee off the hill, and they ended up meleeing at a +4, and they had a C2 R3 result, but there was only 100 men from I think it's from from Davis's brigade in here, and they captured that. So we got our first capture of units in this game. Now, when you account for casualties in this game for like fire and stuff like that, if an artillery battery loses a gun or loses 1 strength point, what you do in the report, it says it's 100 men lost, because all the regiments are in strengths or each strength point is 100 men. So what you do is, if it's horse artillery, you subtract, you add a casualty to the cavalry, and if it's a regular artillery, you add it to the infantry. So The casualties are slightly above what I have on the chart over there on the Brigade ineffectiveness sheet. And just to give you an idea, well, before we get over there, as you can see, there's Doubleday coming on, all right? And here comes 2nd Division, Robinson's division of the 1st Corps. And starting on this turn, I think some of the 11th Corps people start to arrive either here or here, all right? But as you can see, the casualties here, you can see with the Cav has already lost 1,900 men. And the infantry, which would be the Iron Brigade or any artillery, have already lost 1,200 men. All right. I had been tracking the ammo, but for the first day, if you're just playing the first day scenario, which I probably won't, I may get lucky enough to get that far. You don't need to use ammo; it's unlimited. And then over here for the Rebs, Heath's division with any artillery losses is up to 1,700. So that actually, they just took 300 in that last burst. And then they've got the one captured. And I've been using up to, you can see their artillery starts at 680 or 660. I can't remember. Anyhow, they're going down pretty quick. So, or it starts at 640. So they fired a lot of rounds those guns. Okay, and let's see who's dead. Davis is dead right there, and guess who else is dead? From the infamous Iron Brigade. All right. Wadsworth is dead, or the 1st Division commander, he's dead. So Meredith has taken over, and Meredith and Cutler would have been the brigade commanders for the 1st Brigade and the 2nd Brigade of the 1st Division, 1st Corps. All right, anyhow, so Pender's going to be arriving up the road here soon. I'm sure we should get through that. And Heath is done. I'd have to say he's been pretty successful because Pettigrew is a pretty strong unit. Davis's guys are pretty... They have quite a few troops, even though one of them's been chased away. And there's good old Brockenbrough coming up right behind them right there. So we'll have to see what happens because I don't think that the 2nd Brigade of the 1st Division, 1st Corps, they don't have enough ass, I don't think, to hold off Pettigrew. So we'll see what happens, whether or not they can sweep them from this way or whether Davis and Archer have enough left to get up on top of it. I don't think they do to get up top of here. And you still got the cavalry sitting back here, even though they're combat ineffective. If you get in there with their carbines within 1 or 2 X away, they can put a pretty good firepower, pretty good amount of firepower on you. So, all right, so they got SPI's Terrible Swift Sword into the 11:20 turn. Keep driving on as much as I can. Hopefully get one more video at least before this new stuff arrives. I really can't wait for this new stuff to arrive. I think one of the particular items that a lot of y'all are going to really, really like. So, all right, let's get this up so y'all can see what's going on in Gettysburg.